I don't know, it doesn't feel like I'm really meant to be here. The door's kind of caved in. No idea what I've just watched there. A bit weird, but people probably think the same about me. Well, he's not buried there, but his heart is buried in there. Quite interesting, all these little islands. They've all got their own little bits of culture, little bits of history. I quite like that. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the last video. Quite a unique place. Not many places in the world have been abandoned just overnight and all of the possessions and everything left there. A little bit sad to be leaving L'Aquila. I even made a friend, had a little fox join me at one point as a friend, so that was quite nice. But I'll be heading to San Marino today. We'll visit that and then probably Venice tomorrow and then through into Slovenia so we can start heading south towards Athens. So I just stopped because I saw this water fountain and I saw someone else filling up their water bottle from it. And given that we are still in the mountains, I'm pretty sure it's perfectly safe to drink. So, I mean, I guess we'll find out one way or another, but I'm gonna fill up a few bottles. I'm glad I didn't throw them away. And then, yeah, if I'm really ill in a day's time, we'll know that I made a terrible mistake, but I think it'll be fine. I've just pulled off the side of the road just because I needed a wee, and the view, oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you probably can't even get a good enough angle of it, but it's like there's like a valley winding itself into some mountains. It's like a gorge, like cut away, and it's just stunning. It really makes me want to go up there, but I don't really have the time, the money, the clutch. Yeah, such a shame. I don't think the camera is going to do it justice, but it's absolutely amazing, especially with the mist just rolling through. Oh, I love this place. I love Italy. I really love Italy. I enjoyed France, but I think I love Italy. I am stood in the middle of the road, which generally I don't recommend, but when that's the view, you kind of have to, don't you? You don't, and you shouldn't, but it's amazing. I can't hear any cars coming. That is absolutely spectacular. I wonder if I can get down, get a better view. Oh. Right, I don't have too much time to get too distracted. Now if you look over there on the hill, what you see there is the country of San Marino. In fact, it's the oldest country in the world. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is it's the oldest country whose borders have not shifted. Okay, so obviously you've got ancient China, but the borders of China have shifted. Russia's very old, but the borders of Russia always change, right? There was the Soviet Union, whatever. So that is San Marino, the oldest by borders republic and country in the world. Very, very interesting. Doesn't mean it's the oldest place where civilization has existed or anything like that. That's not what it means. But well, that's where we're heading tomorrow. I've got a place to park tonight, so I'm just going to go there, and then tomorrow it should be as simple as just waking up, driving there. Should take 15 minutes maximum, and then we get the full day in San Marino. Then I'll drive north, park somewhere near Venice, and effectively repeat the same process in Venice. Pretty cool. And then we just breach through into Slovenia, which is absolutely insane. Right, let's go find this park up. Well, there on the right you've got San Marino, and then some beautiful mountains and some kind of castle on top of a rock. I mean, that is just incredible. What a place this is. How's that for a park up? What is this place? Wow, that is amazing. I can't believe it. What an absolutely phenomenal place to be able to park. Everywhere is just a view. Wow. Wow. Oh wow, I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, I had a little wash out here, washed my hair, feeling pretty good. I'm just gonna make some dinner now, and dinner tonight is instant noodles. Hell yeah. Nice and easy, quick, and I can just enjoy it. Sit on this rock, look at the view. That's it, that's the noodles. Even some small vegetables in there. Good to get your greens in. Look at that. Lovely, 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 lovely. Right, I just need to get up, sort my life out, and get over to San Marino. I'm looking forward to this. Should be pretty cool. It's kind of like a Monaco, but not as super rich, I guess. Well, this is it, San Marino, and the view from San Marino is, I mean, what? That's absolutely insane. I was just staring at it for like a minute before I showed you. Absolutely incredible. Does look like it's threatening to rain a little bit though, so that's that could put a bit of a dampener on things, but we'll do our best. Well, that's an old MP5. Odd that that's the first shop that I found, but quite interesting nonetheless. Not sure what the laws are on firearms here. I presume they're all fake, but not fake, but BB guns or whatever. And then straight away there's another one. So yeah, that's a 177, just an air rifle. All air rifles, break barrel, airsoft. Hey look, that must be a blank firer. So that's two shops so far, and they've both been selling firearms, but like BB guns. How can two sort of BB gun air rifle shops coexist in one of the world's smallest countries right next to each other? I don't know, strange. Pretty cool pitch to have your restaurant in, isn't it? Right in sort of the castle grounds, and then just up here you've got this view, which is absolutely stunning. Although the clouds do look a little bit threatening, and they're getting bigger and bigger, which, yeah, I think we're probably going to get a little bit wet today. But yeah, I just can't stop looking at this. I can't stop taking this in. Isn't that just unbelievable, unreal? You've got 1911s, Glocks. I used to have that Glock. Except I used to have that Glock in real life, not in BB gun form. But yeah, how bizarre. That's the fourth now, and I've only walked maybe 800 meters through San Marino. Lovely. I don't know if you heard, but the girl behind me just said, the air quality here is awesome. And it is. I can attest to that. So I Googled quickly why there were so many gun shops in San Marino. And actually, it turns out San Marino has the most liberal gun laws in Western Europe, right? So apparently a lot of those firearms, a lot of them were BB guns. You could see the CO2 and everything else, and the break-back air rifles. But apparently they also just sell actual pistols, and you can go in and buy one, which is pretty interesting. And I guess if you're a European and you want to get a pistol or whatever, then maybe this is the best place for you to come. But then I wonder how that works with you leaving San Marino, going into Italy, and now you've got a Glock 17 with you. Surely that's not quite right. I don't know. Very, very interesting though, and that does explain why there's so many gun shops. I guess it's one of the things they trade on a little bit. Cool, interesting. The more you know, eh? Pretty much at the top now, and you can see all the way out to the ocean. That's the coast there. Wow. You get similar views all the way around. It's absolutely amazing. It's probably one of the best views I've ever had. It's yeah, it's gorgeous. I can see why this is popular with tourists like me. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's two guns in here, and they're both 105s, 105 light guns. I don't know why they're not out. It's a shame they're not out. I'd have liked to see them. Well, it's not closed off, so we're going. No way. This is such a random little place. I mean, I'm right in the middle of San Marino. I just cheekily went up a few steps. There was nothing telling me I couldn't come up here. And yeah, I mean, I'm in this like old, super old like guard tower. I mean, check this out. How's that for a view? You've got a similar little view out here. Yeah, very nice. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't feel like I'm really meant to be here. As I say, the ceiling is being held up, which reminds me of Fossa a little bit. And yeah, the door's kind of caved in. Right, let's punch out. So I've just walked all the way up here with the intention of paying and going in and seeing one of the towers here in San Marino, and I've left my wallet in the car, which is not only all the way down the hill, but then it's down two different sets of elevators. I was going to get pizza here as well. I was looking forward to it. It doesn't seem too expensive, but yeah, damn. Well, I'll just keep looking around for a bit and then head back to the car. Museo della Tortura. So that's the torture museum, I think. If I can film, I'll probably go in. So I opted not to go into the torture museum. The reason being is I looked on Google, had a look at the reviews, and the reviews were saying it's just not worth the price, and some even called it like a fake museum. So that's a shame, because the title was really interesting. I guess it was kind of like clickbait museum almost. And I'm sure there's probably some interesting things in there, but you know, if everyone's saying they were disappointed, I don't want to add to that disappointment. So given that I don't have my wallet, I'm going to head back to the car and go find somewhere to get some food and yeah, drive towards Venice. I'll say this, San Marino is so small that I literally knew how to get straight back to the car without any hesitation. That's how small it is. And this is the first time I've been here. I've only been there for maybe an hour and a half. And I know which side the elevator opens. Yeah, it doesn't take long to get familiar with San Marino, let's put it that way. I feel like this guy may have overstayed his welcome. This thing causes me no end of stress. You joined me this morning at the Golden Arches, and I will say this, McDonald's is like the solo traveller's best friend. I'm not saying you should eat fast food all the time, but you know there's going to be toilets, you know there's going to be warm food, you know it's going to be cheap. Anyway, just got to get from here now into Venice, and I am pretty excited for this. I think it should be really cool. Venice is obviously a little sort of island just off the coast of Italy, although it is Italy, but yeah, I think this is going to be amazing. Everyone knows sort of what Venice looks like. I think this will be really cool. So, cue 20 minutes of driving and I'll see you there. Okay, so I've got to park and get the boat into Venice, which is pretty cool. I should have maybe realised that you couldn't drive straight into Venice. And this car park, obviously we're right at the coast. Some of the spots are flooded, so I was thinking, oh, I don't want to park in a flooded spot. And then I thought, actually, yes, I do. Because nobody's going to break into my car if it's parked in the middle of a, I don't know, half a foot deep puddle, right? It doesn't really do the car any harm, so I'm just going to park here. I've just got to find a way of me getting out without getting my feet wet, but I think I'll just go out the back. So here we are, right in the bog. But I do maintain, I think that is tactical genius, because I don't think anyone else is going to want to step in there to start looking around the car. Cool, so I'm parked. I've booked a ticket on the boat, 20 euros return trip, which is not too bad. 7 euros for parking, 27 euros all in. It's a little bit expensive, but actually I'm kind of looking forward to the boat trip. As much as I usually hate large bodies of water, I think it'll be quite fun. I'm not going too far away from the coast. You can see Venice just over there anyway. The sinking city that is Venice. I'm really looking forward to this. This should be really good fun. I also got this pretty handy little pamphlet. You can see on the map where I'm going to get dropped off, and then on the back it's got the timings on the left when it leaves here, so the next one for me is in about 20 minutes, and then return journeys from Venice back to here. So yeah, pretty useful. Oh, and the last feature is this QR code. If I get super lost in Venice, I scan that and it'll just open Google Maps and guide me back to the boarding point in Venice, so I can always get back here.
Şuna bir soralım mı 9.30'da geri döneceğiz değil mi diye?
What's interesting about Venice is it seems like their version of a bus station or a train station is just the side of whatever island you happen to be on, getting on a boat from one island to the next island. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't imagine that each one of those is a 20 quid return. I probably paid the sort of tourist fee. Yeah, really interesting, super cool. You can get like trains onto mainland Venice, but I just thought the boat would be a little bit more fun. Venice is slowly sinking back into the ocean. I can't remember exactly how long Venice is supposed to have left, and maybe they'll think of some engineering solution to save it, because, you know, it's a beautiful and historic city. But yeah, it's just, it's interesting. Everything just feels like it's crumbling and falling away. And I guess, in a sense, you know, that's actually just 100% accurate. Look at the water. I think I've stumbled into some kind of photo shoot. No idea what I've just watched there. A bit weird, but people probably think the same about me, so people can do whatever they want. Okay, I'm a little bit lost. I've just sort of been following the traffic, and to be honest, everywhere you look, there's something beautiful, so I'm not too upset about it. But I think for now, I'm actually going to start navigating towards points of interest, and hopefully we'll find something cool. I'm sure we will. Dead end. Navigating in Venice is difficult, because I'm like, oh, I'm broadly going in the right direction, and then boom, water.
Ciao.
Seems to be a lot of kind of tourist shops selling sort of generic Venice merch, which I probably won't be buying, although I am, as I say, in the market for a new baseball cap, but it's got to be cooler than that, I think. This is a nice square though. Little piazza. Nice clock as well, don't know what's going on with that. I'm heading towards the Basilica, which I presume is kind of like the cathedral, which should hopefully give me some good views. It's incredible how quickly you can go from like the hustle and bustle of the city into an alley where there is absolutely nobody. Usually I tend to avoid alleys where there's absolutely nobody, but this one's particularly scenic, so I thought we'd give it a go. And I'm experimenting with some new shots, which you may have noticed, like this one. I don't know if that looks good yet, but we'll find out, won't we? I can see why this alley's empty, there's nothing here, but still, it's just quite nice to walk through. I mean, these are the parts that probably have changed the least in hundreds of years, these little alleys. Very nice. So if this looks a bit Freemasony, that's because it is. The architect, he's not buried there, but his heart is buried in there. He was a Freemason, and a lot of his design and architecture reflects that, hence the sort of triangle and all the symbology. His hand is buried somewhere else, and then the rest of his body is somewhere else. So yeah, a bit strange, but hey, if you can, why not? And it's huge. It's absolutely enormous. I guess it's like a wig shop, which is interesting. Look at all of these, they look amazing. That looks especially amazing. Well, I tried to get the calzone and a peach iced tea, and I was pretty excited for it. I'm quite hungry and thirsty, but they would only take cash, no cards, which is pretty strange in the centre of Venice. So no joy. Wow, this place is really something special. It's an enormous piazza, an enormous square. And then I think that is St. Mark's Basilica behind me. So we're going to go and take a look in there on the assumption it's not too expensive. But wow, what an amazing place. It's absolutely gorgeous. Huh. Huge. This is the Piazza San Marco. Huge, 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 huge. This place is absolutely stunning. It's just dome after dome after dome, all painted. It's beautiful. Yeah. This is the sort of church I love. Gorgeous. Look at this. Even the floors in here, it's kind of a work of art. Yeah, everything's just beautiful to look at. All this marble, beautiful floors, geometric patterns, and then painted ceilings, domes, vaults. Very nice. Well, here you can really get a perspective of the fact that Venice is actually made up of several smaller islands. There's one major island and then there's little islands dotted around. In fact, on one of the islands there's actually a kind of an insane asylum, no longer used, but that's where a lot of people were placed when they were, suffering mentally. There's a haunted island that you can't go to unless you bribe a local man with a gondola, which was where people were placed during the plague, effectively to die, and apparently, hundreds of thousands of people died there. So quite interesting, all these little islands, they've all got their own little bits of culture, little bits of history. I quite like that, but unfortunately, I don't really have the time to go to all of them. So, yeah, it's a shame. No video. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. How strange. You can only take pictures, no video. What's the difference? Anyway, how bizarre. Okay, I'm heading out of Venice now. I don't feel like I've fully experienced the place, partly because so many different things to see are on different islands all around Venice. But I have explored the main sort of the centre of Venice, the big island, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think it's really one of those places that if you're coming, you need to spend 3 to 5 days, I think, and be willing to, travel to all these different small islands. But unfortunately, I just don't really have the time or the money to do that. So I feel like I've experienced 35% of Venice, maybe, which is not too bad for a day. But again, yeah, it's one of those places where I think I may have to come back. But I guess, I'm creating a short list of places to come back and places where I'm satisfied. So that is something. Well, I made it all the way to Slovenia, and what you can see behind me is the Surge. It's a World War I memorial. I'm going to go and take a look at that in a minute, but for now I think that's pretty much the end of this video. I want to make Slovenia have its own video, and then Croatia, and then down through into Greece. But yeah, wow, look at this view. Amazing view of the mountain range and a few other parked cars. For today I'm just going to try and find somewhere nice and shaded, and yeah, see you in the next one.